Welcome back to Team CJ Coachworks. Today we're going to be going over where we left off from last time on this 1967 Lamborghini 350 GT. As you can remember from our last episode, this panel here had been finished being fabricated and was ready to be installed. We had finished up with this lower crossmember / drain tube, and it had been spot welded in place. Now this panel has been fully welded and is ready for the next step of finalizing the right hand side of the cowl assembly. What you see here are hinge A-pillar brace panels. These panels had to be removed when we took this panel out for the repairs there. These have been straightened, repaired, primered, and reinstalled. Everything is back to as it was from the factory. Right now I'm getting ready to finalize the right side cowl. What we have here are some brace panels that went and tied into the hinge brace panels. These panels will get clecoed into place and then welded as they were original. One of the things that was not done originally was the inside did not have any primer, didn't have any sort of protection, and these were really quite rusty, but I've repaired them, taken care of any cracks, and had to make a few patch panels for them. Now they've been primered. They've also been coated with the Worth body wax. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and set this panel in place. And this panel gets clecoed in. Like I talked to you last time, there's a couple of different styles of clecos, and these are a screw type. I'm using these here because they pull the panel in a little bit tighter. We can see how it aligns with the outer wheel well panel. What we have here is chipboard, and I've used this to make a pattern of the outer wheel well panel. I have one more panel which caps off the top of this right cowl side. One of the things that we had to do though before we put this in was actually address a panel that's on the inside. This panel here is actually your fuse box mounting panel. It gets welded rather, to the firewall. I had to repair this panel. It had a number of holes. The fuse box had been remounted a couple times, so we went ahead and filled those holes, put new flanges in, and got it lined up with what will be the outer wheel well panel. This is the original outer wheel well panel. We went ahead and removed it from the inner wheel well panel. This panel had had a number of patch panels done over the years and had a lot of damage. So I decided that it would be better to go ahead and make this panel new. Part of the inner wheel well / engine bay cover panels is this panel here. This panel also is in real rough shape, so I went ahead and made that panel new as well. This panel here is the inner wheel well panel / engine bay panel. This is when you lift up the hood. You're going to be looking in here, and then you're going to see this panel here. We have some relays. You also have your Lamborghini 350 GT tag here, which is from the factory. We've kept all that in place. I'm going to go ahead and cleco this panel in place just to show you what this panel, how this panel closes everything off. Now the next stage will be to go ahead, weld these panels in, and where you can kind of see it looks a little jagged, that's actually where it was by the factory. They had welded this panel on to your inner cowl panel, and that's on both of these. So the next step will be to weld those in, and then the right cowl panel repairs will be completely finished. At that point, I will move on to the left-hand side and repeat the entire process all over again.